Well, hello there. Welcome to another session of one of my streaming classes. Apparently you're looking into either upgrading to Windows 10 or you already have. So this class is going to be great for you. Want to keep you in mind, or remind you rather, that you'll want to be listening for your Computer Class Pass Incentive Program secret code. Once you get me that code that's in this class, I can get you marked down and you'll be on your way to prizes. Don't forget to join our Facebook group at Tech Talk Technology, and that way you'll get some videos that might be able to help you out a little bit more and some tips. So I don't want to wait any longer. I'm super excited about this. So let's get started with getting around Windows 10.
Hey guys, I'm Bill from GCFLearnFree.org, and today I want to talk about Windows 10. Windows 10 is the most recent version of the Microsoft Windows operating system for PCs, and it was released in mid-2015. Now, unlike previous versions of Windows, you may actually be able to upgrade to Windows 10 for free as long as you're using a Windows 7 or Windows 8 machine, and upgrade before mid-2016. Windows 10 also comes with a lot of features and improvements over previous versions. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is the desktop of Windows 10, and it should look pretty familiar if you've ever used a version of Windows before. Here in the lower left corner, they've reintroduced the Start button, and if you click that, you'll get a Start menu, just like on older versions of Windows. From there, you can access any program on your computer. Another new feature of Windows 10 is Cortana, a virtual assistant that can help you create reminders, find stuff on your computer, and a whole lot more. Cortana can also use your computer's microphone to hear and answer basic questions. For example, "Hey Cortana, what's the weather like today?"
The forecast shows mostly cloudy skies with a high of 86 and a low of 74.
Windows 10 also includes a lot of features that make it even easier to work with multiple windows on the desktop. For example, the new Task View feature lets you quickly see all of the windows you have open and choose the one you want. You can also create virtual desktops, which allows you to keep different windows on different desktops and stay even more organized. Microsoft Edge is another big feature in Windows 10. It's meant to replace Internet Explorer as your default web browser, and in terms of speed and security, it offers a lot of improvements over IE, but you'll still be able to use Internet Explorer if you need to. I hope you can also see that Windows 10 is not like Windows 8. It's very similar to previous versions of Windows, and in general, we'd recommend that you upgrade to Windows 10 if you can. It's faster than Windows 7 or Windows 8, it's more secure, and it's more likely to be supported for much longer than those other versions. Anyway, that's all we've got, but check out the rest of our Windows 10 tutorial to learn more. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of getting started with Windows 10. When you first turn on a Windows 10 computer, you'll see the lock screen. Just click the mouse or press any button on the keyboard to unlock, then choose a user account and enter your password. You should have been prompted to set up this account the very first time you used Windows 10. Once you've signed in, the desktop will appear. This is the main workspace for your computer. It's where you'll open programs, access files, and a whole lot more. For example, to open an application, just click the Start button in the lower left corner of the screen, then choose the app you want. Now, if you don't see the app you're looking for, click All Apps to see a full list, or choose one of the tiles on the right. In this example, I'm going to open Microsoft Edge. Just like previous versions of Windows, you'll click the X in the upper right corner to close the app. Now, if you're looking for a faster method, you can try searching for an app instead. To do this, click the Start button or press the Windows key on your keyboard, then start typing. For example, if you wanted to open the PowerPoint app, you could click the Start button and then start typing PowerPoint. It should be the first result that appears. Another method is to use the File Explorer, which you can open from this icon on the taskbar. From here, you can navigate to any file or folder on your computer, including any files that are stored on your OneDrive. As with any computer, it's important to know how to change your settings if necessary. To do this, just click the Start button, then click Settings. The Settings app will appear, and from here you can change lots of different things about your computer, like the desktop background, the user accounts, and a whole lot more. Now, if you're used to using the control panel like in previous versions of Windows, you can still access it, but it's sort of hidden. To open the control panel, just click the Start button, and then start typing Control Panel. It should appear at the top of the search results. From here you can use the control panel to adjust lots of different settings on your computer, and those that can't be adjusted from here will direct you back to the Settings app. Finally, when you're done using your computer, it's important to turn it off correctly, or at least put it into sleep mode. To do this, click the Start button, select Power, then choose Shut Down. Okay, so those are the basics, and they should be enough to help you get started with Windows 10.
I just kind of wanted to take a little look at the navigating of the new desktop in Windows 10. And here you can see that this is what a typical Windows 10 screen might look like. So we're just going to kind of go through each one of these gold dots. Up here in the upper left corner, you have your recycle bin. So when you delete a file, it's moved to the recycle bin, and this allows you to recover the file if you change your mind. To permanently delete the file, you would need to empty the recycle bin. But to do that, that would be your right-clicking. Everything with Windows 8 and Windows 10 that you want to do involves your right-click. So getting familiar with your right-click is really the key to the success in these programs. This is a folder on your desktop. You can keep folders, files, and shortcuts on the desktop, so they'll be easily accessible to you. Let's go ahead and jump over here to this gold one here. And this is your desktop background. The desktop background or wallpaper allows you to personalize your computer. You can choose a built-in background, or you can use one of your own images. So some of those pictures that you take, you would be able to upload those onto your computer, and you could use those as backgrounds. These are what open folders look like. So when you double click on a folder, it will open in a specialized program called your File Explorer, also known as Windows Explorer. This allows you to navigate to the specific folder or file that you would want. Down here in the bottom right corner, this is your date and time settings. So on the right side of the taskbar, you will see the date and the time. There will also be shortcuts to various settings like internet settings and sound and volume in this area. You might even be able to find your Wi-Fi setting, and typically that's going to be underneath this little carrot looking arrow style. This is your taskbar. The taskbar contains shortcuts to applications, the date and the time, and more. When you open a program or file, it will appear on the taskbar, and you can easily switch between different programs by selecting them on the taskbar. So this is your taskbar down through here. This is a shortcut on the taskbar. Some programs will have shortcuts on the taskbar for easy access. In this particular example, there are shortcuts for Microsoft Edge, which is that E, File Explorer, which is that file, and your Windows Store, where you can get a lot of those downloads. And you also have your Start button. In most versions of the Windows, you'll click the Start button to start the menu. The main exception to this is Windows 8. If you're using Windows 8, you'll click the Start button to return to the Start screen. In the new Windows 10, when you push this button, you're actually going to have a file that comes up for you and shows you all those, or you'll have a box that will come up that will show you all of those tiles that you're used to seeing from Windows 8. So this was just a rough getting around on the desktop for the Windows 10 version. As we go through the class, you'll be able to see some of the changes and the new things that were added versus the Windows 8. But again, if you have any questions about this, just get in contact with me. I can help you kind of navigate through this. Why don't you right now go ahead and just minimize this video and get yourself into your Windows 10 and just kind of take a look at where all these dots would be on your screen. Okay, so So now we're going to talk about navigating through multiple windows, and we're going to start with Snap, which allows you to resize windows quickly. This is especially convenient when you want to see two windows side by side. So to do this, you would click and drag the desired window to the left or right until the cursor reaches the edge of the screen, and you can see how those are there. Then you release the mouse. The window will snap it into place. So to unsnap it, you simply click and you drag the window down. So you just get it away from that edge. Here is another look at, so you want to keep in mind that if you have more than one window open when snapping, you'll be able to choose a window to snap to the other side of the screen automatically. You also have what is called flip. You can use flip to switch between open windows. To do this, you would press and hold the Alt key on your keyboard, then press the Tab key. Continue pressing the Tab key until the desired window is selected. So you can see how that's done there. You do have your task view. Your task view feature is similar to flip, but it works a bit differently. So to open task view, you click the task view button near the bottom left corner of the taskbar. Alternative, you can press the Windows key plus Tab at the same time on your keyboard. All of your open windows will appear, and you can click to choose any window you want. Now, we're just going to kind of scroll down through this. This is kind of showing you the desktop a little bit and how it looks now. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this part of it. Here is just close the virtual desktop. You can move between windows. So it's showing you here you can create a new desktop, which is your virtual desktop, and then you'd be able to flip between the two desktops. It can get quite confusing, so if you're having any problems with this, just get in contact with me and we can kind of go over things. But this is tips for managing multiple windows. Let's see, using your Windows 10 on a tablet. So if you're using Windows 10 on a tablet, you can see here, you can use it on desktop, laptops, or tablets. You have a tablet mode and action center. You also have your start buttons, and it shows you that there. By pressing on this button here, it allows for this opening up, so you can start getting your tiles in there. So opening applications, and this is working with multiple apps. And you can see there that they're on the internet with multiple apps, closing them out, and how you get through all that, being able to drag them around. You are not required to use tablet mode, but if you are going to be using it on a tablet, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and do that. So I just wanted to get us around being able to manage Windows 10, and that gives you your Snap, your Flip, your Task View, your virtual desktops, your showing of the desktop, and things along those lines. So at this time, if you would, go ahead and just minimize your video here, and then you can get in there and just kind of take a look at the different things you have on yours. Now we're going to talk about personalizing your desktop. In Windows 10, it makes it easy to customize the look and feel of your desktop. So to access your personalization settings, you would right-click anywhere on the desktop and then select Personalize from the drop-down menu. The personalization settings will appear. So you can see how they've done that here. They've just pushed right-click, gotten a menu, and hit Personalize. So now we're going to go through some of the personalizations of the screen. So through the personalization, you've got your background. The background, you can choose and customize your desktop with the colors, and it shows you how that is. You have accent color effect, things like the taskbar and the start menu. By default, Windows 10 will assign an accent color based on your desktop background image. However, you can turn this feature off if you'd prefer to choose your own. You've got your lock screen. From here, you can customize the appearance of your lock screen. As with your desktop background, you can use a built-in picture or select Browse to choose one of your own. You're not stuck with what they have. You can personalize a theme. If you previously installed themes on an earlier version of Windows, you can view and select them here. However, Microsoft does not currently plan to release new themes for Windows 10. And Start, from here you can customize certain options for the Start menu, like choosing to show the Start menu in full screen mode. You can show most used apps and things along that. You can also choose which folders appear on Start. And you can browse by selecting Browse to choose a desktop background from one of your own personal photos. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can also change the font size. If you have difficulty seeing the text on your computer, you can increase the font size. Increasing the font size will also increase the size of the icons and other items. So you would open up the Settings app, which is located in that Start menu in the bottom left corner, and then you would select System. And by pressing on System, then you get to the display screen, which allows you to customize your display. You can make the sizes bigger and things like that. So here it says change the size of the text, apps, and other items, and you can kind of go through that. Let's see, what else can we do in our personalization? Really, that's all you're probably going to be doing is setting your font size, maybe looking at some of that personalization on your screen and being able to access it. So go ahead right now and get into your settings and your personalizations, and that's by right-clicking on your main screen, clicking on Personalize. That's going to get you to the personalization window. If you want to change that font size, you'll need to do that through your settings. Again, that's in the bottom left corner, and then click on System. And it also says for your displays, notification, apps, and power. So go ahead right now and just give that a try. Now in this section, we're going to talk about customizing your Start menu. One of the most important features in Windows 10 is the Start menu. You'll see the Start menu to open apps, access commonly used folders, and a whole lot more. Because it's such a commonly used feature, you may want to customize the Start menu to suit your needs. So this tells you a little bit about a brief history of the Start menu. And it's showing you there. In earlier versions of Windows 10, such as Windows 7, the Start menu was confined to a narrow column. In Windows 8, the Start menu was replaced with the Start screen, a large full-screen menu. However, many users complained that the Start screen was confusing and difficult to use. As a result, the Start menu was added back to Windows 10. And while it's similar to the Start menu found in earlier versions, it also has been expanded to include tiles, which were originally introduced in Windows 8. So this kind of gives you a little bit of a look. So by pushing on your Start menu, it's pulling these tiles out for you instead of having them in the background. Here's that settings feature we were talking about in the last section. You also have all apps. By pushing on that, it'll get you to where all of your apps are. So to rearrange tiles, if you don't like the way your tiles are arranged on the Start menu, you can rearrange them. So to move a tile, you would simply click and drag it to the desired location. So in this example, they are moving Microsoft Edge, and you can see how they're moving it straight by left-clicking and dragging. To make a tile bigger or smaller, you would click on the tile, select Resize, then choose the desired size. So you would just right-click right on here. We can't do it from here because I'm not actually in Windows 10. I'm just on a picture. But if I right-click right on this, it's going to give me this menu. I can resize it. I can make it smaller, bigger, wider, or larger. You can pin and unpin tiles. If you want to add a tile to the Start menu, you can pin it. You can also unpin tiles you don't use very often. So click on the Start menu and then open all apps. You can see where they are. You're going to find and right-click the desired app and then select Pin to Start. So in this example, they are going to pin the Calculator app. So they've come over here and they've right-clicked on Calculator, and now they're going to pin it to Start. You can see how it's been added. The app will be pinned to the start menu. You can remove any tile by right-clicking and then selecting unpin, so you're not stuck with it on there. To turn off live tiles, you may notice that certain tiles, such as those for the news weather apps, are animated. These are called live tiles. However, if you find these are too distracting, you can turn them off. So to do this, you would just right-click on the desired tile and then select Turn Off Live Tile. In this example, they are turning off the Photos app. What a live tile is, it just means that it is feeding you information. So your email feeds you information. The news feeds you information. Your weather feeds you information. Your photos, it's another feeding of information. So that's what a live tile is. Other start menu options. There are a few other settings you can change from the start menu, including viewing the start menu in full screen mode. To access these options, you'd right-click the desktop, select Personalize, then choose Start. From here, you can choose to turn the options on or off. And you can see how they've done that here in this picture. So this gets you around a little bit better. So I hope you understand customizing the start menu a little bit more. You can always minimize and pause this if you want to kind of get yourself a little reviewed and go back through it. Kind of skimmed it a little bit for you again here. But go ahead and minimize your video and try to see if you can't get some of these things to happen for you. Now we're going to talk about how you can make Windows 10 feel more familiar. So when Windows 8 was released in 2012, many users complained that it was confusing and difficult to use. As a result, Windows 10 looks and feels more similar to older versions. Still, there are some changes you might find confusing or just plain annoying. If you want Windows 10 to feel even more like Windows 7 or Windows XP, here are some tips that can help you out. Simplify the start menu. Windows 10 uses an expanded start menu, which is considerably larger than previous versions. However, if you'd like to prefer to use the traditional, more narrow start menu, there is a solution. First, you'll need to unpin all of the apps in the start menu. To do this, just click a tile, then select Unpin from the Start menu. So in this example, they've already unpinned everything except the calendar. So now they're unpinning it all, and that's just right-clicking on the app and selecting Unpin. Once you've unpinned all of the tiles, however, your mouse over the right border of the Start menu, and then you click Drag. Then click and drag it to the left. So you can see how they're grabbing a hold of it and they're clicking and dragging it to the left. Hide Cortana. One feature not available in previous versions of Windows is Cortana, a virtual assistant that can help you create reminders, find files, and more. But if you prefer not to use Cortana, or if you just don't want to see the icon on your taskbar, you can hide this feature. So to do this, you're going to right-click on the taskbar, then select Cortana, and select Hidden. Okay, so this is Cortana right here. And now they've removed it. You can use the control panel instead of the settings app. Unlike previous versions of Windows, most of your basic settings will be changed through the new settings app rather than the control panel. Still, there are many settings you can change from the control panel, and those that will redirect you to settings app when necessary. To open the control panel, just press the Windows key on your keyboard and type control panel. Then press enter, and you can see how they've done that. Use Internet Explorer instead of Microsoft Edge. Another big change to Windows 10 is Microsoft Edge, the new default web browser. Generally speaking, Microsoft Edge is more secure than Internet Explorer, and it should also be faster and more compatible with the modern web. However, if you'd prefer to use Internet Explorer, most of the time you can reset it as your default browser. So you're going to do that by going into your settings, clicking on System, navigate to the default apps option. You can see that there. Use web browser and choose Internet Explorer. And this will set it as your default. So, we have gone over quite a few things in this when it comes to making Windows 10 feel a little bit more familiar. You can get rid of all those tiles. You can move and slide this over. Get rid of Cortana. You can use your control panel instead of your settings. And you can even get yourself back to Internet Explorer instead of Microsoft Edge. If you need any more help or assistance with this, please get in contact with me. I would love to assist you. Right now would be a great time for us to do our Computer Class Pass Incentive Program. And we're going to make that one. I'm on Windows 10 and I'm loving it. So get me that code and I will put you down for taking the class, and you'll be on your way to prizes. Go ahead and minimize this video right now and go ahead and try some of this stuff and see if you can't get your look the way you'd like. Now we're going to talk about security and maintenance and the security features in Windows 10. Windows 10 includes a number of built-in features to keep your computer safe from viruses, malware, and more. You can learn more about some of these important features during this class, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. User control, account control. Your user account control warns you when a program or user attempts to change your computer settings. Your screen will temporarily be locked until an administrator can confirm the changes. This helps to protect your computer against malicious software and accidental changes. User account control also allows you to decide how often you'll receive these messages. So this is the screen that you would choose, how you want to be notified of things, and the settings that you want to do that with. So that's under your user account control settings. You also have Windows Defender. This provides an antivirus and malware protection for your computer. In addition to scanning your computer for potentially harmful applications, Windows Defender provides real-time protection, double-checking each file or application you open without slowing down your computer. So that's what this looks like, your Windows Update, your Windows Defender, and you can turn on a lot of those features. You also have a Windows Firewall. So by default, Windows will protect your internet connection with Windows Firewall. A firewall prevents unauthorized access from external connections and helps protect your network from threats. And that could harm your computer. So you can see here they've accessed this through the control panel, system and security, and then Windows Firewall. So they're able to turn that feature on and off and things along those lines. And you also have other options that are within that. So I would recommend going ahead and taking a look at all of that. You also have the Windows Smart Screen. Whenever your computer detects a security threat from a file or application, Windows Smart Screen will notify you with a full screen warning. Whenever you see this warning screen, you should choose not to open the file or application unless you can verify it will not damage your computer. So you just want to be careful with what you're doing. Doing your Windows updating. In order to keep your computer secure, Microsoft will automatically provide a regular update to your computer. These include important security updates as well as new features. You can also check for updates manually and choose when they'll be installed. So to do this, you would want to open your Settings app and choose Updates and Security. So from there you can check for updates or use the drop-down menu to choose your installation preferences. And again, that's where that Windows Defender is also. To defer updates, in some cases the new features introduced in an update won't work correctly. If you'd prefer not to receive these features right away, you can defer them. This won't prevent updates from being installed eventually, but it does mean you won't receive them immediately upon release. This way, if there are any problems with a future update, your computer is less likely to be affected. So you can do that through your Windows Update. And by pushing on the Windows Update, you go to the Advanced Options. From there, you can check the box for Defer Upgrades. Your Windows Update will be deferred, but note that you'll continue to receive important security updates from Microsoft. You do have backup and recovery. Windows 10 can help you protect your files from accidental loss by creating a backup on an external hard drive. Should anything happen to your computer, you can reset this easy knowing your files are still safe and secure. And that's also in the same section under backup, and you could add a drive. If you ever need to recover a lost file or reset your copy of Windows, you'll use this option in the recovery settings. So this is all about maintenance and security for your computer, which is essential. You really do need to have it. It's going to keep your computer protected from all those viruses and malware and spyware and things along those lines. So if you would at this time, go ahead and minimize this video and find where your Windows updates are and the Defender, the backup, the recovery, all of that. Go ahead and take a look in your settings. You can even use that Cortana down at the bottom that allows you just to type in Control Panel, or you can type in System or Security and Maintenance, and you should get exactly what you're looking for. Go ahead, give it a try. Just want to take a moment to thank you for taking the time to watch this class. You made it through it. Big pat on the back for yourself. Congratulations. You are now on your way to learning Windows 10 a little bit better. Keep in mind that one-on-one appointments are available to you and they are completely free, and we can do them here at the library or out in the community. Just get in contact with me and I can get you in. Remember that secret code's in this class for that Computer Class Pass incentive program. So be listening for that and get it to me so I can get you marked down for taking the class. Also, remember that the Mobile Technology Lab, Mobile Technology Lab is out and about in the community. So I could be somewhere closer to you. So just be looking for that or give me a call to find out where I'm going to be. You can also join our group on Facebook, Tech Talk Technology. I always have some really good videos and some great tips that you can follow that are on there. So go ahead and join that today. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get all the newest and updated information. Again, I just want to thank you for taking the time to better educate yourself on Windows 10. Maybe you have already upgraded or maybe you're just looking into it, but this is a great start, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. I just want to take a moment to thank the following websites for their information and the software for the use of their information. Without these sites and without these software products, we would not have been able to have this class today. So a big thank you and shout out to them. If you get time, please check into gcflearnfree.org. Pretty much everything that came from this class came from gcflearnfree.org. I highly recommend them for all your technology needs. So thank you for all of these for our references and resources.